Good morning. If you listen very closely, you can hear the red-winged blackbirds outside of my window. I love those birds. They're blackbirds during the winter, and in the spring they get this red patch and a little bit of yellow on their wings, and it's just beautiful. Just kind of reminds me of Native Americans in ancient times and things like that. I don't know. It's very very primordial in a way. I don't know, primordial, I don't know what that means. Anyway, don't use words you don't understand. Well, I do, anyway. I'm thinking there could be some people out there who are feeling discouraged. Certainly, I was discouraged yesterday. Somehow you think it makes you a better person that you're suffering. Like, well, I must be a saint because I'm suffering. Well, possibly. Think about the sinners. They avoid suffering every chance they get. And they use the suffering of others to make themselves feel better. If you're not one of those people, then you might be a victim. You might be a martyr. What can I say? I'd rather suffer now and then have joy in heaven eternally rather than be happy now and be eternally damned, right? And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean literally not being saved and going to a place of absolute condemnation, which is hell. That's being damned. I'm not trying to swear, so please. There's an origin behind damn. There's a origin. And it's a very serious origin, and it's not just a mean thing you say when you're angry at somebody or some situation. A few times people have asked me, well, wouldn't you just love to go back and be young again? No, I mean, I would not want to do that because I know so much more now than I did back then. I don't care if I was prettier and riper and whatever. I'm so glad to be as smart as I am now. Not that I'm smart. I'm just so glad. I'm so much better than I used to be. On the inside. On the outside, I don't think I've changed much. I mean, I'd like to think I've improved in some ways. I'm learning to wear my hair in a more flattering style. For example, I'm giving myself the best skincare I can. I'm not having like the constant breakouts like I did when I was a teenager in my early 20s. I remember one time, my dad came to visit me on campus my freshman year, and not putting him down at all, but I had a pretty bad case of acne, and I was about 17 or 18 years old because I went off to college when I was 17. And he took me to a restaurant. I ordered French fries, and then later on I heard that he said it was my fault that I had all this greasy skin and acne because I eat too many French fries, and that has nothing to do with it, folks. It's not your diet, it's your hormones. I forgive you, but it's like, well, you're doing me a kindness, and then you're gonna go behind my back and say something mean about something I feel terrible about that I can't do anything about. I mean, acne is not a nice thing. I mean, I still have a little bit of acne, but I don't care. I mean, it's not anywhere near as bad as it used to be. It used to be painful. I had these, I don't want to go into it, but it was not pleasant. I used to have acne on my back, and now pretty much I'm just kind of stable, since I've had 9 children. If you go on birth control, please, you could do that. I mean, it used to be, forgive me if I'm speaking out of turn or something, but it will stabilize your hormones. You could just start taking birth control. It'll probably take care of the acne. It might make you gain a little bit of weight, but could be worth it. I don't know. So when I was on birth control, I did gain weight after having had a few kids, and I hated being fat, and now I'm fat again, but it's a trade-off because I'm taking a medication that makes me gain weight. I'd like to be thin. Was I happier when I was thinner? I don't know. What do you think? The cat is like, you're going nuts. You're, there you go again. There you go again. I know, Clarence, I know. What's the point of this entire message? God is good. Even though you're suffering, when you are suffering, God will enable you to have a sense of humor, to just laugh at things. You look back on painful memories, perhaps ruefully, but now that you're older, you acknowledge they happened, yet it makes me a well-seasoned person, having had all of these experiences, good and bad, right? You're a well-seasoned person. You're a seasoned citizen. I mean, pardon me, but don't you feel bad that Rush Limbaugh died? I mean, don't you? Don't you? I remember when I went off to college. Well, my second year of college, I transferred to The Ohio State University in a dorm. And at noon, I turned on the stereo because I was rooming with some pretty well-heeled gals. I knew them through a relative, and they said, well, Erica should move in with you because she's just such a nice little church mouse, which I was a terrible slob and not very well behaved at all, actually. I was horrible. But then I would put on Rush Limbaugh at noon. It's like they came in one time, my roommates, they're like, she is such a weirdo. She's listening to Rush Limbaugh. But my dad loved Rush Limbaugh, so I listened to Rush Limbaugh. And then I realized it wasn't cool, but I was so conservative, and that's how I attracted my husband, because I was like really, really neocon. You know, I was. And then later on, I got annoyed with him because it seemed like he was a little bit insensitive toward poor people and women at times. I thought he was kind of an arrogant SOB. You know what? Nobody's perfect. Looking back, the world is a better place since he was here for a while. I hope people will say that about me. Yeah? We don't know how many years we have on this earth, do we? Think about it. Every day has to count. Are you making every day count? Ask yourself. I ask myself, and I say, though it costs me dearly at times, I am trying to make every utterance count. I'm sorry, I'm sniffling. It's allergies, things like that. You think people in Hollywood are happier? Am I wrong? But the guy who got the Academy Award was angry at the presenter, and when it's like, you should be on cloud nine. Aren't you getting the Oscar? Am I wrong? If I've got it wrong, then it wouldn't be the first time. But you're so ungrateful for the goodness that God has bestowed upon you. Now you're judging. Yes, I'm judging. Okay, it's just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth. A lot of times we focus on what we don't have, right? And we become obsessed with, I don't have the things that other people have. People that have not been able to have children, for example, or find someone to marry. They just, why? Why have you cheated me? Well, God hasn't cheated me. He's given me 9 children, you know? And he's given me a wonderful life partner, which is my husband. And yet, I'm always saying, well, I don't have this, and I don't have that, and I don't understand. Well, if you had everything, you'd be a spoiled brat, and you know it. The fact that God is withholding some things from you, it's only to make you a better person, more compassionate, more humble, and down to earth. You will not be on cloud nine until you are actually in heaven. Do you understand that? On earth, you're going to have suffering, you're going to have trials, you're going to have tribulations. Think about you. I mean, if I'm talking to myself, and maybe you're a lot like me. Have you ever had cancer? Have you ever had a heart attack? Have you ever even broken a bone in your body? Have you ever had a broken leg and had to hobble around for 6 weeks in a cast, or however, or 16? I don't know how long people have to keep a cast. You've been so darn blessed. Oh? Why aren't you grateful? Well, one time I went to a car wash and it didn't work. There were a couple times and I was mad at God. What kind of a what kind of a ninny are you? You're going to be mad at God that the car wash didn't work? Well, I thought everything was supposed to be perfect. In fact, it was. But look around your room. I'm talking to myself here. Maybe I'm talking to you too. You want everything in the world to be so neat and tidy, and yet look at your room. You stopped even hanging up your sweaters. You just throw them over in the corner. I don't know. I just decided, what's the point of making the extra effort? You know, when you have little kids, it's like they're never going to be neat and tidy unless you torture them into that, which I don't have the desire to do it, and I couldn't do that. We try to help them, just put your dirty dishes in the sink when you're finished with them. It's like, well, there's some progress. Isn't it great? Think about this. When you had to buy diapers, when you had to change diapers, when you had to pay for pull-ups, when the kids weren't potty trained, and now they're potty trained, and they wash their hands after they use the restroom. You're not grateful for that. You don't thank God for. I do thank you for that, Lord. Thank you. We've saved so much money not having to buy diapers anymore. I did go with the cloth diapers for a while, but that was untenable. You know, everything's untenable. Everything I try. No, it's not. It's fine. Just curb your enthusiasm. It's fine. Just calm down. I'm being very calm. I know you're a little bit upset, Erica, that the older children don't seem to want to talk to you. But you don't have to change their diapers anymore. Isn't it a worthwhile trade-off? I would rather not be changing diapers. It's true. I'm very grateful. The cat is like, oh, I'm so cute. Oh, look at me. I'm such a cute cat, Moomoosh. I'm a kitty, shoo-shoosh. You hear him purr? He's gonna purr. It's like sniffing the microphone here. I have to change litter boxes. It's true, but, it's not nearly as bad as changing diapers. It's like the most horrific thing about having children. Other than, labor itself, childbirth. Breastfeeding was okay, but I didn't have enough milk. Well, we won't go into that. Well, at least you could buy bottles and formula. But I wanted to breastfeed. I wanted to give them the best nutrition, but I didn't have enough mammary material. You know what it is when you're a small girl, a little girl. I'm bigger now, but I'm bigger everywhere, so. Would you rather have a skinny body with no boobs or big boobs with a not skinny body? I don't know. I guess I'm happy the way I am, but I'd like to lose a little bit of weight and keep everything I have gained on top. Well, We don't know if that's tenable. Have a nice day.